Hello, I'm John Jones of Philip Morris & Son, here in some fantastic Herefordshire shooting countryside to talk to you about the key features to look for when selecting your shooting jacket. First two things to consider almost go without saying. First of all, make sure it's waterproof. Make sure you select a high enough waterproof rating to match your need. Secondly, make sure it's breathable, and again, make sure that the rating on the breathability is high enough for how active you are going to be. Next thing to look for is freedom of movement. You need to make sure that as you're raising the gun, you can raise fluently, smoothly, without it pulling through the shoulders here, anywhere through the middle or on the lower back and catching. There's nothing worse than getting halfway through your swing and it pulling back and restricting your movement. So the next thing to look for is the pockets, to make sure that you've got the pockets you require for the type of shooting you're doing and to suit your own personal preference. So on this, my Harkila Pro Hunter Endure, I've got really good cartridge bellow pockets, can get box of 25 in there dead easily. Got hand warmer pockets which you can sit with the gun mounted through there and keep your hands warm on those colder days when you're waiting for the birds to come over. I've got a retaining strap that holds this one up so that I can load quickly. I've got an outer pocket here so that when I'm all zipped up I can still get to my keys without unzipping and letting the cold and the wet in. Keys, mobile phone, all that sort of thing, very useful there. And on the back here, which you won't really be able to see too well, I've got a zip pocket there, game pocket for any other paraphernalia, dog leads, all that sort of thing that you may wish to take on the day with you. A lot of jackets may also have game pockets around the inside on both sides. So it's very much down to your personal preference, personal needs, but certainly that retaining strap, very, very useful in all kinds of coat. Next item on our list of key features is the sleeve type. So a lot of jackets have an adjustable sleeve here. I've got a Velcro fastener on this, which I particularly like because I can fix it to exactly where I want it. A lot of jackets have poppers on there. It's really important so that when you reach up, you're not getting a gap between your glove and your sleeve and rain, cold, etc. getting in. A lot of jackets will also have an inner elasticated cuff here. That's a bit of a Marmite thing. Some people love them, some people hate them. But either way, whichever kind of fixing you've got, make sure that you've got a way to make sure that as you reach up, your jacket is staying where you want it. The next thing to think about is the amount of insulation you want in your coat. This is down to personal preference on whether you particularly feel the cold and the type of shooting you're doing, whether you're covering a lot of ground, how active you are. With the milder winters that we tend to have now, what we find a lot of people prefer to do is go for a really waterproof kind of jacket, but without too much insulation, and then they can always layer up underneath if we do get that colder day. Jackets that are insulated tend to have the outer insulated layer inside with the waterproof membrane and then a lining inside. Next thing to think about is the weight of your jacket. If you are in the jacket for 6 or 8 hours a day in a very heavy jacket, it's going to be weighing down on you, particularly if it's getting wet by the end of the day. It's amazing how lightweight fabrics can allow a jacket to be stripped down to a very, very minor weight these days and yet still provide all the features, the waterproof, the durability that you need in a jacket. So just think about that weight when you are selecting a jacket and whether you're going to be comfortable wearing that for 6 to 8 hours a day. Next thing to think about linked to the weight of your jacket is the durability. If you're rough shooting, if you're going through a lot of terrain with a lot of brambles, gorse, etc., you're going to need a really good tough jacket. If you're a driven gun, stood out, open fields, etc., durability not such a key issue. You may be looking for a smarter rather than a tougher jacket. So consider that based on the type of shooting you're doing. Next feature to consider is a hood. Most veteran shooting jackets come with a hood, as with my Harkila jacket here. This one zips off. A lot of people find hoods slightly Marmite things. Some people really don't like them, but on a really wet, miserable day, you will find a hood invaluable. If you are one of those people that doesn't like a hood, look for one that, like this, zips off or can roll away completely into the collar so that you scarcely know it's there. The final feature on our list to look at is Drawcords. In a lot of better jackets you'll get 2 Drawcords. On this one I've got one in the middle here and one at the bottom. It's amazing the difference that makes to fit and heat retention when you've got them both drawn in to the right degree that they will keep the middle of your back and your base a lot warmer than if it's just flapping it open and not fitting so well. That's a very quick guide to the key features to look for in a shooting jacket. If you'd like more information, please visit our website, visit one of our blogs, see one of our more extended videos on the subject, or give us a call.